who used to live in this house.
No, but don't tell her her great-great-grandfather used to live in this house.
No, but don't tell her Alice used to sleep in her bedroom.
Tell her not to be rude to them. Tell her not to be afraid.
Don't tell her she can't play with the children.
Don't tell her she can have them in the house.
Tell her they have plenty of friends and family. Tell her for miles and miles all round they have lands of their own.
Tell her again, this is our promised land.
But don't tell her they said it was a land without people. And don't tell her I wouldn't have come if I'd known. Tell her maybe we can share.
Don't tell her that.
Tell her we turned them back.
Tell her we're fighters.
Tell her we've got new land.
Don't tell her the trouble about the swimming pool.
Tell her it's our water. We have rights. Tell her it's not the water for their fields.
Don't tell her anything about water.
Don't tell her about the bulldozer.
Don't tell her not to look at the bulldozer. Don't tell her they've been knocking the house down.
Tell her it's a building site.
Don't tell her anything about bulldozers.
Oh, and don't tell her about the queues at the checkpoint. Tell her we'll be there in no time.
Don't tell her anything she doesn't ask. Don't tell her the boy was shot. Don't tell her anything.
Tell her we're making new farms in the deserts.
Don't tell her about the olive trees.
No, tell her we're building new towns in the wilderness.
Don't tell her they throw stones.
No, tell her they're not good against tanks.
Don't tell her that.
Don't tell her they set off bombs in cafes.
Tell her they set off bombs in cafes. Tell her to be careful.
Don't frighten her.
Tell her we need the wall to keep us safe. Tell her they want to throw us into the sea.
Tell her they don't.
Tell her they want to throw us into the sea.
Tell her we kill far more of them.
Don't tell her that.
Tell her that. Tell her we're stronger. Tell her we're entitled. Tell her they don't understand anything except violence.
Tell her we want peace. Tell her we're going swimming. The news. Tell her she can watch cartoons.
Tell her she can stay up late and watch Friends.
Tell her they're attacking with rockets. Don't frighten her. Tell her only a few of us have been killed. Tell her the army has come to our defence.
Don't tell her her cousin refused to serve in the army.
Don't tell her how many of them have been killed. Tell her the Hamas fighters have been killed. Tell her they're terrorists.
Tell her they're filth. Don't tell her about the family of dead girls.
Tell her you can't believe everything you see on television. Tell her we killed the babies by mistake.
Don't tell her anything about the army.
Tell her about the army. Tell her to be proud of the army. Tell her about the family of dead girls. Tell her their names. Why not? Tell her the whole world knows
Why shouldn't she know? Tell her there's dead babies. Did she see babies? Tell her she's got nothing to be ashamed of. Tell her they did it to themselves. Tell her they want their children killed to make people feel sorry for them. Tell her I'm not sorry for them. Tell her not to be sorry for them. Tell her we're the ones to be sorry for. Tell her they can't talk suffering to us. Tell her we're the iron fist now. Tell her it's the fog of war. Tell her we won't stop killing them till we're safe. Tell her I laughed when I saw the dead policemen. Tell her they're animals living in rubble now. Tell her I wouldn't care if we wiped them out. The world would hate us is the only thing. Tell her I don't care if the world hates us. Tell her we're better haters. Tell her we're chosen people. Tell her I look at one of their children covered in blood, and what do I feel? All I feel is glad it's not her.
Don't tell her that.
Tell her we love her.
Don't frighten her.
Thank you for listening to our play. The Charity Medical Aid for Palestine has a new project to help the children with disabilities in Gaza, and we are going to ask for all the money we collect today to be sent to that particular branch of the charity. There's lots of stalls, so do browse, do stay and chat.